Festival in New York. Do I need a mic? Should I get a mic? Um, this is Stefan Peka. I'm from the Romanian Cultural Institute, and tonight we have Pavel Cuzuioc with us. And so, if you wanna ask him questions, this is your chance. So, Pavel, should we? Should we sit down? Yes. Let's sit down.
I mean, in my childhood, I was very close to cemetery and everything what was going on across funeral ceremony and so on. We are very close there. I mean, in Moldova, and the kids are always the ones that are first to I don't know how to call it, commemoration or celebration, and we get sweets and biscuits and so on. Then I had two neighbors which were gravediggers in my grandmother's village, and I was visiting them at cemetery because it was close to the stadium, and I was playing there and so on. So after then some years I thought I was going to a funeral, and then I've seen this Doina cemetery, which is very big. I got to know some friends, then some gravediggers. Then some friends of my father worked there in the administration. I always heard some stuff about, and years after years, I thought the story isn't told for me, so I have to go there and discover something for which I didn't know. I didn't know much. I don't know. I cannot tell you much about the dramaturgy and how I constructed, because you've seen it. The technical side is that I shot during 1 year. Each second month I was going there and shooting for 10 days, 2 weeks, and I was cinematography I did by myself because I had to be. It was very intimate somehow. I had a sound man, an assistant, and myself, and I couldn't enlarge or have a bigger team. It's very quiet. You have to be quiet there. I don't know if I answered exactly as you wished, but yes.
A question of geography. Moldova, where is that in relation to Romania?
People know this territory as Bessarabia, or Republic of Moldova. This is a former part of Moldova, Romanian Moldova, and of Romania's country. In the last 200 years, Moldova was moved or left alone or took by Russians, and it's an independent country since 20 years, and it's between Ukraine and Romania, so east to Romania.
So there were kind of Russian graves and Romanian graves?
Let's say, yeah, it's. I think it's a very big Russian influence there. So even I mean, we don't have a border with a border with Russia. We have it with Ukraine, but considering the Soviet Union, the whole system, and the alphabet.
Yeah, the alphabet.
The alphabet that is we had, although we spoke Romanian, we had 50 years a Cyrillic alphabet. You see a lot of Romanian names written in Cyrillic, so you think it's Russian, but it isn't, and it has still an identity, a part of Romania, but this is a history thing.
The final scene, when you see so many people, so many burials going on all at once, is this common or is it a special day? Like every weekend?
No. Actually, it's interesting for me that you misunderstood the scene. It's a celebration. It happens once a year. It's called Eastern of the Death. I think in the States, or the Day of All Souls or something like this you call here, and we do this. So people in Moldova do 1 week after the Easter. People gather at the cemetery, families, and they eat there. They pray. They remember the death ones and so on. So it's a very big holiday, even. So it's a national holiday, even like Easter. So for me, it was important to go after this 1 year of silence in 1 day of life, on 2 layers.
First, I have to say congratulations for your close-ups and shooting. It's fantastic. It's very graphic.
Thank you.
Got a message through that. It's film. But I wonder what the script looked like. I mean, the words, the direction. How you translated, how much. Because I was shocked it was presented here in the calendar of the Peninsula as a documentary. So bluntly.
Yeah.
Documentary. It's not documentary. It's so much philosophy behind. And I wonder what the text looked like and how much you translated.
You have to give a genre to a film. You have to say documentary, fiction, or I don't know, horror or thriller, or I don't know. But it is presented as a documentary because it was a HBO documentary program. Somehow, they needed, they wanted to have a documentary film. I wanted to shoot a film, and for me, this is a work. It's not a documentary. It's not a fiction. It's a concepted film, and it's. I don't want to pretend to be an artist or something, big words. But I must say, when you have a painting, each painting is different. You can call it it's expressionism or it's surrealism. It's every work is a work. So you can go with documentary, or you can say it's a film, but it's a work. It's a work in video, audio genre in 56 minutes, but it's.
In the end, this is the IF Austria.
Yes.
Production from Austria.
I live in Austria, and when I started to develop the script, I applied for the developing funds, and Austrian Ministry of Culture gave me some funds for developing the script, and actually this helped me to define the direction where I go and if it's really worth to do something like this.
Did HBO have anything to do with choosing
I had a very positive experience with HBO because they didn't stood on my back during the whole production. They believed in the script, and then I had some raw materials. They watched it and said, just go with it, and we want to have a film. And I had a longer version. I have like 20 minutes more, a 78 version. But and they liked it. But then again, I had the freedom to decide the final cut. And I went for the less because I think it was enough for me first. And they never commented on the camera or certain scenes that I have to take out or to leave. It was a very positive experience. I know from other colleagues that they had the same. I think it's HBO Romania didn't produce so many documentaries or films. They produce only documentary actually, but they are very very open in collaborating with new directors while the production is going on. For them, is the most important thing is the script, and I think that was the case. Yeah, I have something. I have a fiction which I try to develop, and I have a new documentary subject. But I'm not sure if I'm not so confident if I should do it because I didn't found the right moment. You know, it's a process. I cannot do on demand, unfortunately. Unfortunately, meaning it's bad because I cannot earn a lot. You know. I'm sorry. Can you? Yeah, yeah. You are asking me if this is like this, or this is really if this really happens? Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. People are not. People die young. People, I mean, people die like let's say now more young, like it was 20 or 30 years ago. I don't know for sure. But why they say always cancer? Because this old cancer is for Eastern European. It's like if you don't know of what people someone died, you say cancer or maybe cancer. So it's cancer. And after Chernobyl, I cannot say that this was a policy of I don't know. It's just en vogue, and people are not well versed in what this really means. Cancer of what? It just people are afraid of it. But the people die young because of many reasons now. I mean, there are a lot of fights going on. I don't know, some mafia stuff, and some people go to Russia to work, and then they, I mean, Gastarbeiter, like in Europe, we used to say, and then the parents receive only the bodies. I mean, it happens, and I don't know. You know, I had this scene with the radio when they say about Chernobyl and how many died and how many Moldovans. It was a celebration this year, 25 years since Chernobyl happened. That's why people talk a lot again, because it's again very a lot in media. Because it happened in Japan last year, and then 25 years of Chernobyl. So it's again a subject of discussion. The mass grave, it's not really a mass grave. I think you call this in English John Doe or
Jodo.
Jodo, yeah. There are unknown people that die, and every second or once or twice in a month, on every Tuesday, the cemetery receives like. Yes, exactly. Some of them are homeless. Some of them are from the former prisoners, life prisoners, and then some poor people cannot bury their relatives, so they sign a paper that they cannot allow themselves to bury them, so the state pays, but the state pays only a grave and a coffin. But they still do this, and I think it's in every big cemetery like this. Yes, but I think it's in Romania they call groapa săracilor,
Yeah,
the grave of the
Of the
poor
poor.
ones. Yeah.
Was this movie presented in Germany or Boston?
The film it's quite new. It's 2 months old. I mean, we just started, and I think would be present in March at Diagonale in Graz, maybe. Yes, it's Austrian Film Festival, and because of the funds, maybe they will show it. So.
Any more questions? So if not, I think I'd like to thank Pavel for being with us tonight, and thank you very much for coming. And there are 4 more days of the festival, so you can totally check it out. The Romanian Film Festival here, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.